Hey, how's it going? John from Branson Cerakote and Laser here. Going to do another top 10 list, and this one's going to be the top 10 pieces of equipment that I'm glad I bought. When we got into this, I didn't have any experience at all with pneumatic tools or spray guns or coatings or anything like that. So there were some things that I bought that actually ended up being a really good idea, and I kind of stumbled into it accidentally, but I've never regretted it. So here we go. Number 10 is going to be our sandblast cabinet. I got the biggest sandblast cabinet from a company called TP Tools that they sell without going to a double glove set. I knew I didn't need anything that big, but I did know that if we got something in like a 50 cal or just something really, really big, that we need to be able to sandblast that. Kind of a 10A that will go along with that is going to be the metering valve setup, and we have a video on that that tells you kind of how to install the whole thing and where to get all the parts. That metering valve pretty much doubled the efficiency of our sandblast cabinet. Number 9 are mini fridges. We've got a couple of them. We keep our big bottles in one and our small bottles in the other. The mini fridge is really good for just keeping your coating good longer. When your coating goes bad, primarily the biggest problem you have is the solvent evaporates out, and there's really no way to rehydrate that, if you will. I've not been able to find anywhere online that tells you what solvent that they use when they make this. And then also, how much do you add? If the bottle's 2/3 of the way full still, how much do you add? Is it gonna be too watery? Is it gonna be too thick? So when your solvent evaporates out, you might as well just pitch the bottle. It's not good anymore. The other little side bonus to having a mini fridge is you can keep your squeeze bottles of acetone in there and they don't evaporate out quite as quickly. Number 8 is gonna sound like a really kind of a stupid small one, but I've thought many, many times since we've been open that it was just a lucky, really good purchase. And that's the automatic paper towel dispensers. There's a lot of times, especially when you're cleaning up, when you've got gloves on, you've got Cerakote all over them, and to be able to just kind of wave your elbow at this and get a paper towel, it saves you a lot of hassle during the day. It's just one of those really small things I didn't really think about, but has really paid off over the years. Number 7 is the booth. The booth is kind of a sticky situation because it's very, very expensive. Ours was somewhere close to $5,000, and it's not really an expense that, at least when we give advice to people, that you need to make up front. You can get by with a smaller spray area or a smaller booth or even something homemade and put that money to better use on other things in your shop. However, now that I have this booth and have had it for a few years, I can't really imagine spraying without it. Number 6 is another one of those kind of weird little ones, and that's a toaster oven. I would never recommend using a toaster oven as your only oven. It's going to be kind of inconsistent, and you're obviously not going to put anything bigger in there. However, the nice thing about a toaster oven is if you're really busy and you've got a lot of volume running through, if you've got polymer, you can just pop those in a toaster oven, a grip frame or a pistol grip or a buttstock, and run your bigger oven at the higher temp to bake all your metal out. So it's more of a time-saving convenience thing. One bit of advice I'd give is don't go to a thrift store and buy one, get a new one. Anything that's had food cooked in it, whether that be a kitchen oven that I see online people using or a toaster oven or whatever, is gonna have grease just baked into every crevice, and when you heat that up, that is now atomizing in your oven and getting in your coating. Number 5 is probably the piece of equipment that we bought that has taken care of the most issues for us that we're having prior to having that, and that's the air drying system. If you're not familiar with them, you can Google it. There's a million of them out there. They're either called air dryer or air conditioned air, inline air dryers, things like that. It basically looks like a mini fridge that's laying on its back. Your air comes out of your compressor hot because by definition it's compressed. It goes through a desiccant filter, hits that air dryer, and immediately drops down to 36 degrees. So when it hits your air system, you don't have all that oil and water and all that, the issues you have with all that moisture. Number 4 is a piece of equipment that I tell everyone this is the first place you want to spend any extra money you have to upgrade, and that's the Iwata LPH-80. The LPH-80, it's hard to kind of describe the difference between a mid-level or a cheaper gun and the Iwata. The best description I can give people is it's going to give you a much larger margin for error, and it's going to be much more precise than kind of the clunky, cheaper guns. Number 3 is the Cerakote Hook Kit. I've looked all over the internet trying to find their torsion hooks, and I use the heck out of those, so just those hooks alone are worth buying the whole kit. You've got to have hooks anyway. You might as well just go ahead and buy a good kit and have every type of hook that you need for this industry. Number 2 are the magnetic stirrers. Being able to just put a bottle on there with a magnet in it and allow that to stir for as long as you want it to stir saves me minimum an hour a day of just standing there shaking bottles to get them agitated. Number 1's kind of its own industry, but we use it a lot with our firearm stuff, and that was our fiber laser. If you're looking for another kind of related industry to move into and you have the money to do it, it was extremely expensive, lasers are the way to go. They allow you to do much more customized type stuff with one nice piece of equipment. If you're interested in the laser, we've got a video on our channel where we went down to San Antonio and got trained and picked our laser up and came back and hit the ground running. So if you have any comments or questions, or if you have a piece of equipment that you've bought that works really well in your shop, leave in the comments down there and we'll all have a little conversation about it. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And check us out at BransonCerakote.com for all your stencil, Cerakote, and laser needs. Have a great day.